One part of SJW culture that I have not discussed yet is the hatred that SJWs have for things that they call social constructs. Social constructs are bullshit. Now, what do SJWs mean when they say that gender is a social construct? They basically believe that, there is no such thing as a female brain, there is no such thing as a male brain. When a male or a young boy likes the color blue, or when a girl likes the color pink, or when boys like wearing pants and when girls like wearing dresses, or when boys like playing with Hot Wheel toys and girls like Disney princesses, they believe that those things are social constructs and are not true. But what I can tell you to those people is that psychology would like a gigantic word with you because it strongly disagrees. First of all, let's look at the social construct belief just in and of itself. How can it be a social construct? If you have like a 3-year-old girl and you literally show her 2 toys, one of which is known to be kind of like a boy's toy, like a Nerf gun or something like that, and the other is like a Barbie doll, let's say. If the girl gravitates towards the Barbie doll, are you going to say it's a social construct? You probably will, but if I asked you how, you wouldn't be able to answer the question, because the only answer SJWs give is things like societal pressure, and this is what people are taught. But we're talking about young people who have not been shown this pressure yet, Sure, you can give pressure to someone who's like 10, but how can you do it to a young child? It doesn't work that way. And even if it did, it's still bullshit, don't worry. If you would like some evidence that's a little bit more literal, like I said, this is psychologically proven, you can look it up everywhere, but I will give you some really direct evidence if you'd like that there is a female brain and a male brain. There were literally some SJW parents tweeting about this on Twitter, saying things like, I'm currently abusing my kids, and I'm trying to force my daughter to not gravitate towards dresses, Disney princesses, Barbies, etc., because these were parents that were deliberately showing their girls, their young daughters, boys' toys like fire trucks or Hot Wheel toys, Nerf guns, video games, etc. And in their tweet, they were saying things like, I've tried really hard to get my daughter away from those social constructs, but she just gravitates towards Barbies. She wants to play with the Barbies and not the more boy toys. And they blame social constructs, when in reality, as I've said, the reason why your daughter gravitates towards Barbies and why your son gravitates towards boys' toys is not really social constructs, because that's a load of shit. It's in their psychology. This is built into the male and female brain. It is a fact. There is such thing as a male brain, and yes, there is such thing as a female brain. I assure you that the phrase, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, is not just something made, well, the quote is made up, but it's based on reality. It is rooted in reality that men and women are simply different because we are. And to claim that men and women are exactly the same and the only differences we have are things that we want to choose because gender is a choice is bullshit. There is a male brain, there is a female brain. Just like how in life there are things that women can do that men can't. There are things that men can do that women can't. There is the fact that men are biologically stronger and all these things. Obviously, that does not involve psychology, muscle mass, but I'm just giving you examples as to how men and women are simply different because we are different. Women do think differently than men do, and men do think differently than women do. We have different brains, we have different ways in which we think, we have different ways of processing information, we have different things that we enjoy, desire. Men and women are different, and that is a psychological fact that no SJW can say is wrong because they want gender to be a social construct. But to drive the point home even more, if you go on Google, the liars, algorithm changers known as Google, and type in the word gender right now, it will give you the social construct bullshit. However, if you go on the Wayback Machine and go to like 2010, before the definition was changed, before the SJW culture, it will show you that sex and gender had basically the same definition. Now, before I made this video, I actually checked the Wayback Machine because I wanted to make sure that it was still true. And the definition is actually not the current one or the old one. I think it's safe to say that SJWs probably forced the Wayback Machine to change it, but don't worry, I'm not wrong. Go to a library and get yourself a dictionary from like 2010, 2009, and there is where you will see the real definition of gender, showing you the proof that the definition of gender was changed just because SJWs demanded that it be changed.
But also pointing out that in transgender individuals, there are biological reasons for the disparity between their gender identity and their biological sex. Female to male transgender people have brains more similar to cisgender men, and male to female transgender people have brains more similar to cisgender women. So even in transgender people, their gender identity is biologically hardwired and is therefore not a social construct, because to call something a social construct is to imply that gender identities are nothing more than a preference with no real objective truth behind them. If gender is a social construct, then it's in the same bag as other social constructs such as the practice of eating fast food or watching NASCAR. If you can simply choose your gender, then your decision to identify one way or another is no more worthy of respect than your choice of food or entertainment. Is that what you want? If we accept the premise that gender is a social construct and that gender identities are merely a performance, then there is no validity to the complaint that transgender people are oppressed, as you complain about, because they could avoid said oppression by simply choosing to not be transgender. That's obviously not the case because, as I pointed out, the gender identities of transgender people are determined by biological factors, so gender is not a social construct, and this substantiates the point of my video about there being fundamental differences between men and women. Do you get it?
So, all in all, the point is this. The social construct thing is bullshit because it goes against the very fabric of psychology, and that is the real facts.